Let's get into Melbourne. And mind you, for everyone who wants to know, Melbourne is my favourite area to invest in the country at the moment because it's historically the best performing city in terms of capital growth, and it's done the worst over recency. So that's the reason I like it. And if you follow efficient markets, if something overperforms in recency, it's probably going to underperform in the future. If something's underperformed in recency, it's probably going to overperform in the future. And that is Melbourne to a T. So in November, this is basically where I put all the areas of Melbourne. And basically, you'll see here really that in November, like it was further on in the stabilisation phase, like closer to the 6 o'clock mark. But you'll notice here now that some parts especially have started to move even further along that timeline, especially your inner west of Melbourne, your inner east, southeast, and your inner north. Particularly your inner east, southeast, and inner west. Fundamentally, you've got quite good demographics, again, similar to Sydney there. So particularly good suburbs of the inner west, like your Yarravilles, your Seddons, your Kingsvilles, your Spotswoods, those sorts of suburbs, your Newports, they're all completely stabilised. I mean, you're having even some that are actually sometimes selling over their guide if they're priced well with the right in the right location of the suburb. Your inner east and southeast as well. I mean, if you've been following the media, a property in Chirac literally sold for like a estimated 150 mil the other day. And generally when you have that happening, it's signifying that the market is completely starting to shift because they generally start the charge. So that's what's happening there. Your inner north is kind of like your Brunswick kind of area, your Thornbury, your Alphington, those sorts of suburbs. That also is attracting some decent prices too. So look, Melbourne today, I mean, if you want a good time to buy, it's an excellent time because like you're not going to get any better time than this because you're buying at the absolute bottom of the market. And I'm telling you right now, maybe it doesn't do anything for another year, or two, it might stabilise, but it is as close as I can imagine it to slowly starting to pick up and start becoming an upturn. And as I said, Melbourne and Sydney in past episodes are quite interest rate dependent. They do actually have quite strong, should I say, correlation to lower interest rates. So it's something definitely to consider in that as well.